Sweet. Looks like we are live. I don't really know what I want to talk about today, so hopefully you guys are going to bring a lot of questions. I know I haven't done a live in a while, actually. This is my first live in probably 10 days or so, and I usually do 2 lives a week. When I first started doing lives, I was doing like 3 or 4 a week. So it's been a while since I've done a live. A lot of people have been DMing me and saying they have questions that they'd like to ask on the live. So hopefully a lot of you guys have brought questions today. I know it's not always optimal that I just do these very randomly, but I like to try to do them all at different times during the day, sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the early afternoon like today, and then sometimes in the evening, and sometimes even super late, just so I can capture a bigger demographic of people who may have questions or who may want to just hang out. So I appreciate all you guys being here. Looks like people are already starting to pile in. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat over here and I will get to them. You guys can ask me anything about eBay, Poshmark, whatnot, any reselling questions you have, business questions in general. Anything you guys would like to know, you guys can ask me anything about my personal life if you'd like to as well. Whatever you guys want to do, if you guys want to talk about anything and anything, I'm more than happy to answer questions. How are sales, guys? Sales have been good for me. I did my second Whatnot show yesterday. A few of you guys came and watched it. Not too many, and that's actually kind of, maybe I'll talk about this for a second. So I did my second Whatnot show yesterday, and I had an average audience of 10 people at a time. Sometimes it got up, I think the highest point it ever was 16, and the lowest point midway through the live was like 7. And a lot of people say, can I do Whatnot without a social media following? And I think absolutely you can. So yesterday I did a Whatnot. I sold a few shirts and I ended up making $532, which after Whatnot fees, and that's plus shipping, and Whatnot just takes care of the shipping for you. So I made $532. And then after fees and stuff, Whatnot sent $471 to my bank account, which was awesome. So just a quick $470 in I think the stream was 43 minutes. And it only had an average of 10 or 11 people in the chat at one time. So you don't need those huge numbers of 40, 50, 120, 180. Even just 10 people in your chat can definitely get to you to where you need to go. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about eBay, about Poshmark, Whatnot, reselling, business, anything like that, go ahead and put them in the chat and we can get into them. I've missed hanging out with you guys. We had 50 people in the live chat and it went all the way down to 32. So it looks like a lot of you are not interested in Whatnot whatsoever. But if you guys have questions about Whatnot, I'm happy to answer those as well. Hey, what's up, Shagan? Nice to see you here. Hey, Jake, great to catch you live again. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Do you promote your listings? What's up, Shane? Sorry to skim over you. What's up, Shane? Do you promote your listings? Yes, I promote my listings at 2.6% across the board on all of my listings. Some items definitely need to be promoted. Some items definitely do not, but I don't want to take the time to judge each individual listing and think if it has to be promoted or not. So I just promote all of my listings across the board at 2.6%. And it does well for me. It gets me the amount of sales that I would like every single day without paying too much out of pocket. And I did that by just starting at 1.1% and then increasing that to 1.5 and then to 2.1 and then to 2.6. Just slowly, I usually would go up 0.5% every 6 months. And I've just stayed at 2.6 for a really long time. And I've found a lot of success in that 2.6%. What is your eBay store name? It is 21JRide. So 21JRIDE. Thanks for stopping by my live last night, Jake. Meant a lot to me, buddy. Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything, but you guys heard it here first. Biscuit Butt reached out to me and invited me to come on the Reseller Locker Room podcast that Shane was on the other day. So I'm excited to do that. It'll probably be in the next few weeks or so. Learning a lot from your videos. Can you teach how to create YouTube videos? Yeah, I definitely can. I know a lot of people are not interested in social media content, but a lot of people have those questions for me. I really recommend being okay with slow growth. It takes a lot of work. Harry Tornado not famously, I guess, but in one of Harry Tornado's videos, I heard him say at a yard sale to a lady, I worked for free for 9 months until I finally started to get monetized on YouTube. So it usually takes a really long time. 9 months is actually pretty fast. A lot of people, it takes close to a year and sometimes even over a year to get monetized. But just be yourself, be okay with slow growth, and just get right into your videos. Yo, yo, yo. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Walrus J-Ride, what's up, man? How you guys doing? I'm redoing my photos and listings. Is it easier to delete and sell similar or revise the same post? Either or. Revising the same post will be simpler, but I think you do actually get benefits from actually deleting that post, selling similar with new photos. It actually refreshes the item and things like that. It's not as drastic as some people would have you think, but it definitely helps, especially if your item has been in there for months and months and months and years and years and years. So easier, just take the listings down and put new ones in. Slightly more optimal, delist it completely and then put in new photos. There's Biscuit Butt. Ears were itching. If you are a total beginner, should you just focus on eBay and then add in Poshmark, etc.? That's what I would do. I would get really good at what's it called? I would get really good at one platform first, get like a good foothold, and then move on to the next, especially because if you start 2 platforms at the same time, like cross-listing and delisting and losing items and selling something on eBay and then not taking it off on Poshmark, and then 6 days later it sells on Poshmark and then you have to cancel that order, and even worse, something sells on Poshmark and then 4 days later it sells on eBay and you have to cancel that order. All that stuff gets really confusing. So I would get good at one and then get good at 2. Everyone's having a good chat with each other. Morning, humans. Hey, the disgruntled octopus. I don't know if you've ever been in one of my lives before, but if this is your first one, thanks for being here. I hear a lot about you on various other podcasts. It's good to see you here. I think you were actually in one of my very first ones, but I haven't seen you in a while. So thanks for being here, man. Shane, fancy seeing you here. Yep. What are your thoughts on offering free shipping on eBay? Depends on your item. For brand new items, I think that there's something to be said about offering free shipping to compete with others that are selling the exact same item. When it comes to used items, and keep in mind, I don't do free shipping on any of my items whatsoever, even my new with tag ones. I do exclusively paid, calculated, and flat rate shipping for several reasons. First, in the case of I always struggle with this. In the case of fraudulent returns, you're able to withhold the original shipping, but if you just have free shipping, you can't withhold it because there's nothing to withhold. So that's one of the reasons why I do shipping. And plus, people don't actually care about. Some people will not buy something if it has free shipping. There's like a demographic of people out there. It's kind of weird, but if something is $20 plus $5 in shipping, that's $25. And then if something is $27 free shipping, they won't buy the 20 plus 5 shipping. They'll just buy the 27 because it has free shipping. That is a very, 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 very small demographic of people. The average person just sorts by price. If something is $27 or $25, it doesn't matter what the shipping is. They just pick the one that's $25 because it's cheaper than 27. And sometimes, so if you guys notice in my shop, all my shipping is like $4.87, $5.87, $12.87. That's kind of a psychological trick. The 7 makes you feel like it's on sale subliminally. Wow, I'm struggling with words today. Subliminally. And sometimes when you see something that's $14 and $4.87 plus shipping, you just automatically assume that that's $18. And then there might be something that is a little less expensive, but glancing over it quickly, you actually think that mine is less expensive, so you buy mine instead, if that makes sense. So that's why I utilize some of those strategies as well. What kind of items did you sell on Whatnot last night? Which category? Completely men's shirts, almost exclusively long sleeve too. So I sold a lot of Western shirts like Wrangler and Frontier, and then I sold some Polo Ralph Lauren shirts, and I sold a lot of Pendleton shirts last night too. So it was mostly Pendleton, Wrangler, and then a few like workwear, Carhartts, and things like that. Hi, how do you combine shipping on eBay? Unfortunately, it's a pretty clunky process unless you have your shipping policy set up. So I would Google, this is a very lengthy answer. So I would Google um, combine shipping policies on eBay, and then they will provide a link for you right there in Google that you can click on, and it'll go to your business policies and you can set those up. But you can set them up to be the first purchase is $5.87, and then every purchase after that is 99 cents or free shipping or things like that. But you definitely want to have your policy set up so it's seamless. And then also, people just will put a ton of things into their cart, and then they'll message you, "Hey, do you combine shipping?" And then you can just you can send them an invoice with the updated shipping. That works as well. But some people won't just put all of the items that they want from your store in a cart. That's why it's important to have those shipping policies and combined shipping policies in place. Gore-Tex jackets, a good pickup. I don't know. Let's see what eBay says. I've never even really heard of that. Gore-Tex jacket. There are 78. Holy cow. Yeah, these look really good already. I'm seeing them sell for $400. So there's 15,000 sold. 15,000 listed and 7,700 sold. As far as men's clothing go, that's a decent sell-through rate. That's a 50% sell-through rate, lower than you typically want it to be. But because they sell for such a high value, if you have the right jacket and you put it $10 under market, then it will probably have a 200% sell-through rate. So yeah, Gore-Tex priced well is an amazing pickup. And then Gore-Tex priced at market is still a pretty dang good pickup, in my opinion, just from that quick 7-second research. Give me a 30-second update on how selling on Poshmark is going. It's going pretty well for me. I don't spend a ton of time on it. I just use the free cross-listing tool. I currently have like 1,050 Poshmark items, and I'm selling like 5 or 6 a day. So I have a 0.5 sell-through rate on Poshmark. What's awesome is I'm moving items that are super, super long tail on eBay on Poshmark. So I sell a ton of eyeglass frames, like frames only for brands like Polo Ralph Lauren and Armani Exchange. And those usually have probably a 6 to 9 month, no, to be honest, a 9 to 12 month sell-through rate on eBay. I've been listing those on Poshmark. People watch them. Then, because on Poshmark, all shipping is like $9, which is pretty outrageous. But then once I send them an offer with $4.95 shipping, they sell so quickly. So it's actually been really awesome that my super, super, super slow moving items are moving very quickly on Poshmark. So yeah, Poshmark's been a really good experience for me so far. When are you doing another Whatnot live? Again, that's another, like, my schedule is just so wild that it's pretty random, but I usually do schedule those a week out or 5 days out. So I'll let you guys know when the next one is, but I wouldn't expect a lot during the what's it called? During the holiday season, because I live an awesome work-life balanced life. And so I work really hard from 6 a.m. to 12 to noon. And then I usually work until 5, unless something's going on with my family, then I just go hang out with them. So especially during the holidays, I'm probably not going to be doing a ton. Very impressed with the sales on Whatnot with 11 people. Yeah. No, yeah, if you just get the right people in there. So it's cool because I was able to get two or three clothing resellers. So even even my clothing that didn't go for high dollar amounts still went for, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $10 because there were resellers that were buying it that could sell it for 20, 25, 30, 35. So I was always getting at least those. And then there were people personally buying for themselves. So I was able to get a few 50, 60, $70 sales, which was awesome. Hey, bro, I'm in California and all the thrift stores are pretty much crap and I am not finding many garage sale groups. I'm going to try Craigslist for garage sales, but the sourcing is killing me. Yeah, there's a lot of online sourcing revenues. Flea markets in California, like you just got to go to flea markets, man. I wish, like a lot of people complain about California and I'm not like calling you out, but especially if you're in San Diego, man, dude, those flea markets are wild. Like I'll probably do a video where I go to a Temecula or a San Diego flea market and spend $10,000 because I know I could actually do that because the flea markets there are awesome. I went to it one time. I only brought $400 with me and I spent it all on the first 3 tables. And I'm like, man, I definitely should have brought more money. So flea markets are definitely an option. I would definitely go to those. Hello, biscuit. Dude, everyone loves a good old biscuit butt. How do you promote your listings? Where do you do it? Again, type in to Google, promote listings on eBay, hit the first link, hit the first non-promoted link, and then it'll take you directly to set up a business policy that you can just put flat on all of your items. Or you can sign up for dynamic. A lot of people sign up for dynamic. I don't, what's it called? Promote, advise. That's not the advice that I give. I don't think dynamic promoting is the way to go for me and my business. It might be for yours, but a flat rate, small promotion rate to increase sales over time is what I do. Having some chats back and forth. What are good items to flip? You can watch YouTube video. That's what most YouTube channels are dedicated to. It's different for everybody. Whatever you can find in your area. There's a lot of people that sell sealed underwear that do really well. There's a lot of people that sell basketball cards that do really well. There's a lot of people that sell markers that do really well. Used Pyrex, cameras, everything sells. You just got to find what's available in your area and look for the correct brands. Do you have a video where you're in the stores and researching the items on eBay? I've never had anyone follow me with a camera and record me, so no. But yeah, I show people how to look items up almost every single live. So, oh guys, I'm a millionaire. I just sold a Kenneth Cole Reaction sunglasses for $8.87 plus shipping. It's the power of the live. But yeah, you just type in. So like, if I found this Leatherman, this is the Leatherman Micra. So I would type into eBay, Leatherman Micra. So let's do that real quick. Go to your eBay app and you type in Leatherman Micra. You hit search and you'll see that there are 416 available. And it looks like the first few are going for about $20 plus shipping. That's what they're asking. Now we go to sold and we see that there are over 1,000 sold. So this is a great sell-through rate item. It's got a 200% sell-through rate. You're going to sell this very quickly if you price it right. Now I'm seeing that the majority of them are going for $20 free shipping, $20 free shipping, 19 free shipping, 25 plus shipping, 19 free shipping, 18 free shipping. So if you price this at around $20, it's going to sell really quickly. How important are item specifics? Very important. If I just list this as can with no item specifics, it's not going to sell. But if I list it as Mountain Dew can and then fill out the brand specifics of Pepsi and Mountain Dew and I put green and I do all this stuff, then you're going to be able to find it. So I think you're asking that in the form of what is best for the algorithm, but don't ask that question. Ask what is best for my customer. Is my customer actually searching for a Mountain Dew can when they want to buy Mountain Dew can? Absolutely. So make sure that item specific is in there. What up, peeps? How's it going? Very helpful. I have 1 1,000 plus posts to do. Thanks, Jay Ray. So I'm talking about. I'm not exactly sure what you're referencing, but glad I was helpful. For live shows, the more people in I'm assuming the better it goes. For the live shows, the more people that you have in the show, the more you're going to get. Yep. If you have more people in your show, the chances of you getting more money for a specific item goes up significantly. What did you sell and whatnot? Did it run smooth? Yeah, I sold. I already answered that, but I'll answer it again. It was men's shirts, a bunch of Wranglers and Pendletons, and it went very well. I do recommend having an assistant. My first 2 shows that I've run have been a bit sloppy because I'm selling things that are listed on eBay, and so after the show I have to delist them, and it gets a little frantic. But if I had someone just sitting there on the computer delisting and then marking what sold to who, it would go a lot smoother. I did delete and sell similar and got charged section fees, had 250 for the month not used. Yeah, you have to have a store for sure. And if you, so at the bottom of your phone, I'll show you guys here. So right there, that's how many items I'm allowed to list and how much money I'm allowed to list. So I can still list 8,000 items this month. And at the end of each 30 days, after an item's been listed for 30 days, it gets relisted back into the system. So every 30 days. So if I have 10,000 and I have a 9,000 item store, then every month I can only list an additional 1,000 items without going over and starting to get insertion fees. Does that make sense? So if you have 250 item limit and you have 200 items and then you delist and relist those items every single day, then you're definitely going to need a store if you want to use that method of business practice. But yeah, they charge for each listing above the allotment that you have. What did you sell? Okay, $2 starts. Just slithered out of bed. So glad to grab the live. Again, thanks for being here, Disgruntled Octopus. And again, we got a ton of questions and a good amount of people here. Again, if you guys have any questions about eBay, about reselling, about any business, anything you'd like to ask me, go ahead and put them in the chat and we will get to them. We've been going for 23 minutes. I plan on going for the next about 40 minutes or so until my wife comes home. So yeah, let's have fun. Ask me any question you want. My DI is not packed. Should I go in the morning? You go as many times as you can, as at different times as you can, and then just learn. Every single thrift store is different. Even within the same company, every manager is different. All the employees are different. Some thrift stores are overstaffed and overstocked. Some stores are understaffed and understocked. So you just have to keep going at different times each time and make mental notations of what's going on around you, because the best time to go to a thrift store is different every single thrift store. Best tips for pricing something with no comps. Found a sample not to resell Crocs and American Horror Story Carhartt beanie with no online comps. Yeah, so thanks for giving those 2 clear examples, because typically my answer is don't list it. But those are 2 decent things that would actually sell for good money. It's hard. You just look at similar things. So I've made the example before of if you found a baseball that was signed by just a role player on an MLB baseball team and it's never sold, you can look up other MLB players that are around the same status as him. And if there are some sold ones for $30 or $400 or whatever, then you can use those to go off of. So I would type into eBay, Carhartt collab beanie, and you'll probably see that Carhartt collabed with, I don't know, Adidas or Cheetos or Hostess. And then you can see what those collab hats are going for, and then kind of think into your head, well, okay, this is a collaboration hat as well. I'll price it kind of according to what other collab hats have gone for. I list 2 items each day with a draft about 50 ready to go. At what point should I start upping my items listed each day? Currently have around 180 active listings. Awesome. That's mostly up to you and your business and how many sales you'd like per day, how many items you can get in your area. But if you are selling 1 or 2 a day, then I would double that. And if you can maintain a strong draft bank and you're selling 3 or 4 a day, I double again to 8. And then if at that point, if you're up to 6, 7, 8 sales a day, you have a strong draft bank, you can double that again or go to 12 or whatever you'd like to do. But when you have, the biggest mistake that people make, this is actually one of my most common questions in my DMs on Instagram and my email and things like that, is when should I list more? When should I do more? And what people fall into the trap of is, okay, I'm listing 10 a day and I'm selling 7 a day. So if I list 20, will I eventually sell 14 a day? And that's not always the case, because sometimes almost every time, you sacrifice quality to get to 20. So you've been listing things that have between an 80 and 100% sell-through rate, and now you're getting these good sales, but now you're like, okay, now I want to double it. So now you start picking up things that have a slower and slower and slower sell-through rate, especially once you, and especially with the draft bank, it tricks you because you're launching your best items from your draft bank until it catches up to those items that now don't have as fast of a sell-through rate, and it sells your slowdown significantly. You get a little disheartened, and then sometimes it can really mess with your head. So don't sacrifice quality. Right now, I would say you're definitely in a position to even go to 5. I would jump to 5 with what you've provided me. I would probably jump up to 5, but you got to do that very carefully. If you start picking up things that have a really slow sell-through rate, then you're going to start running into some issues. Insertion fees. Yep. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thanks for going live. Hey, of course, appreciate you thanking me for that. I'm a new reseller and I feel like I'm starting to struggle with quality over quantity. Yeah, we were just talking about this on my listings. Getting better though. Any tips to keep quality high? Yeah, don't list as many items as you currently are right now. I know that like kind of hurts. Like it's like a very emotional thing. And it's hard to understand the concept of like, okay, work less and I'll make more. But that's really how it goes. Once you start picking up slower and slower and slower sell-through rate items, your job just gets significantly harder. Your cash flow slows way down. Your stress builds. Like a lot of things start to derail, and they don't derail quickly, and they don't like destroy your business. But when you're buying 5 items and selling 5 items, like let's say your average sales price is $40 and your average cost of goods is $4, and you're buying 5 items a day. So you're investing $20 into inventory every day, but you're selling, what did I say? 5? You're selling 200 worth of inventory a day. And after fees and shipping and all that stuff, you're still left with like, $80 to $120 of profit every single day. But now if you double, and I've seen people just go straight from 5 to 20, so they quadruple. So now they're spending $200 and they're only making, and they only increase their sales immediately by like 2 a day. So now they're spending $200. They're only making 280 after fees and everything. They're actually like negative on the day or just barely above it. And then things really start to get clunky. So if you have this goal, which I think is great, to list the same amount of items every single day, and it's 10, but you're not finding 10 great items every day, or you're not finding 70 great items every week, there's nothing wrong with just listing 6 and then 8 and then 4 and then just whatever's available, or just going down from 10 to 7 because you can't find enough stuff. All of that is perfectly okay, and it's actually better for your business, in my opinion. It's better to list higher and higher quality items. How can I cross-post the same item to multiple platforms without the risk of selling the same item on the same at the same time on 2 platforms? You can't. That's just a risk that you run. But it doesn't happen very often, unless it's like a super, super, super sought after piece that you list on eBay and Poshmark at the same time, and it both sells instantly. But yeah, you just run that tiny variable risk of having it sell on the same platform within the same couple of minutes before you can delist it. But I hear Vendu which I'm not sponsored by. I hear Vendoo automatically delists. If any of you that have Vendoo can confirm that in the chat, then that's an issue that you wouldn't run into if you had Vendoo. So Jake, you have left my live show. You may have left my live show last night and not heard, but we made an announcement. I now am a member of the Reseller Locker Room podcast, so I'm looking forward to having you on, buddy. Yep. I missed that announcement, but Biscuit Butt did tell me that, and I didn't know if it was announced yet, so I didn't want to say it just in case it was still gonna be like a cool announcement later. But yeah, sounds like you're a really awesome fit for it, Shane. So I'm excited for you guys. Jay Ride, thanks for putting out real content. If you're ever up in Salt Lake City, hit me up. I'll take you to my best thrifting auction locations. I'm in Salt Lake every single month. So, so yeah, if you want to reach out to my email at jrideflips@gmail.com or hit me up on Instagram at jrideflips, we can hang out and go hit some thrifts together because I go thrifting in Salt Lake all the time. So I may already know your spots. PJ Miller says, do you have any videos showing how to ship glass and cameras? I actually don't. I don't ship any glass whatsoever, but I do ship a lot of cameras, so I can do a video on that. I'm up to about 380 items on eBay, trying to get to 1,000, but having trouble posting enough as stuff sells. To be honest, that is a awesome problem to have. Like, this is kind of turning into the theme of the live, which is awesome. I advise not getting to 1,000 items. If you get there slowly, selling a ton, that's awesome. But don't shoot for 1,000 listings. Shoot for $400 a day. And sometimes the way you get to $400 a day is by having these fast sell-through rate items, not this many items. Sometimes getting to $400 a day is having more items that sell a little bit slower. Sometimes it's having less items that sell faster, but I wouldn't shoot for an item goal. I would shoot for money goal because that's ultimately why you want 1,000 items. And you've probably done the math of like, okay, at 380 items, I make $240 a day. So at 1,000, I'll be making 500, but the math doesn't always work out that way because it's a lot harder to keep getting items that sell for a higher profit and as quickly as they currently are right now, increasing your listings. But take that with a grain of salt. So like, for example, if all of a sudden you've got this awesome contact that could get you really fast, high sell-through rate electronics, then it would be really good to try to get to 1,000 because you know those are going to sell really well. But if you're just trying to get to 1,000 and you start picking up Duluth Trading Co. like I did, I picked up way too much Duluth Trading Co. shirts trying to get to a certain number of items on eBay. So in my opinion, it's better to just keep picking up a smaller amount of fast sell-through rate items. But you knew what you'd like to in your business, obviously. Sounds like you sold strong brands. What kind of price points are you starting the shirts at? $2. Were they getting bids or did you see them going for the start price on whatnot? Yeah, so they were selling for like decent rates. A few shirts like only sold for like $4 or $5. But then a lot of them sold for like 50 or 60. But yeah, if you're trying to sell an Under Armour t-shirt on whatnot, it's just not going to sell. Like you might get the $2 starting bid. But if like some people, like a lot of like eBay resellers just think whatnot is a place to offload all their junk that doesn't sell on eBay. But like there's a reason why it's not selling on eBay. It's because people don't actually want those items, not for $16 and not even for $2 on whatnot. So yeah, the keyword there is strong that you use, strong brands. If you aren't selling strong brands on whatnot, you're not going to sell anything on whatnot. Like you can't sell a 2018 Burger King toy of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on whatnot or on eBay or anywhere because people just don't want that. But you can definitely sell a 1989 vintage 12-foot figure of Donatello for over $200 because people actually want that. So strong was the keyword there. I can't figure out when to use Tyvek bags, padded envelopes, or just ground advantage. Yeah, so that's one of the hardest obstacles of being a new reseller. I have a few videos on it. I learned a lot from Kevin, the Commonwealth Picker, on regards to shipping at the beginning of my reselling career. Those videos may be outdated now with how many changes there have been. I can do another beginner's guide to shipping on eBay, but it's kind of a complex thing to talk about, especially on a live. But if something, um, a good thing that you can do is, if you'd like to keep it ultra simple, anything under £1, you can charge $6 flat rate shipping and send it ground advantage. That's a very easy one. Anything over £2 that will fit in a flat rate envelope, send it in that. And then anything over £2 that, honestly, anything outside of those two, put in the measurements and select USPS ground advantage. Those are my like absolute beginner tips, and it's honestly like really those are really the only three methods that I have. I have mine split up into 4 ounce, 8 ounce, 12 ounce, and 16 ounce now, but that's a little more advanced, and it's only like a difference of $1, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But just start with those. I have a really long video called The Ultimate Guide to Reselling on eBay, and I think it has chapters like right here on the bottom of the screen, if you guys understand what I'm doing. And it will say like shipping, and then you can skip to that one if you'd like, because I give that same information that I just gave, but in I think in a more organized manner. Good info. Thank you. Hey, thank you. What type of sell-through rate do you look for with clothes? Oof. I don't like clothes. I'm trying to, that's a major reason why I did my Whatnot show yesterday, is I'm trying to get to as little clothes as possible. So honestly, I probably I want to get down to 500 clothing articles. I don't know. 100%. 100% sell-through rate, maybe 80. What's up, everyone? Hey, how's it going? Hustle and Grow. That's an awesome channel that you guys need to check out as well. And then another channel right below it that's really awesome, American Arbitrage. Let's talk right off. That's funny, Gary. No, yeah, these two dudes right here, awesome channels. If you guys want to check out Hustle and Grow and American Arbitrage, you guys can completely leave my channel and go subscribe to them. I don't mind. They're both awesome channels. They both give unique perspectives. Hustle and Grow, if you don't mind sharing what part of the country you're in. And then Kerry is actually very close to me, and him and I had similar upbringings, so we both kind of sell the same stuff sometimes. They just shut down Santee Flea Market. Oh, did they really? I've been to that one. Dang, that one's good. That one's really good. There's another one in San Jose. I forgot what it's called, but that's probably the greatest flea market of all time for the things that I look for. I look for a lot of remote controls, digital cameras, even just miscellaneous. I sell a ton of wires, a ton of cables and wires, as if you can believe it. But that's mostly wholesale stuff. But yeah, there's this one in San Jose. I can't remember what it's called. Let me see if Apple Maps will bring it up. San Jose Flea Market. Is it Westwind Capital? Westwind. I think it's Westwind Capital Flea Market. Best flea market I've ever been to. But that one that you just mentioned, Steve, that was a really good one too. That kind of sucks. I love your vids, brother. You are my favorite. Are you going to do a video on affiliate marketing? Thanks for everything. Hey, thanks for that, Rich. Appreciate that. Yeah, I just did a new affiliate link this morning. My Reseller Genie. Haven't completely done all that stuff yet, but I'll probably do a video on that later. But yeah, I can do a video on affiliate marketing. I'm not like the biggest expert on that, and I may never be, but I do Amazon affiliate marketing, and then obviously these different companies have reached out to do affiliate marketing with me as well. And those are going as well too. But yeah, I can do a video on that eventually. Thank you for helping us. I'm so glad I just found your YouTube channel. Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Anything sells, you just never know. I sold a 100 pack of 90s Hubba Bubba. Dude, that's funny. Dude, now I'm thinking about 90s Hubba Bubba because I had a little bit of that. Are you talking about the like one that like emulated chew tobacco? That bubble gum? That's childhood right there. What's up, J Ride and everyone? Hey, how's it doing? Beard King Picker. Beard King Picker is another awesome YouTube channel you guys need to check out, and he's also part of the Reseller Locker Room podcast. Happy Tuesday, everyone. It is a happy Tuesday. Thank you. Deborah says, what's the name of the promotion for eBay? It's called eBay Promoted Listings. I think that's what you're asking. Hey, Jake, do you know whether eBay allows more than one account? They do. I'm getting into this everything seller thing, but I think all the shoes, cameras, etc., aren't great for Encinitas coin brand. Yeah, so they do. You got to be a little careful about that because, especially if you don't have a VPN, eBay can kind of flag your account as a way of avoiding fees. Kind of how we talked about that person that was relisting and they only had a 250 fee listing allotment. They can kind of see that as like, hey, this guy's trying to avoid fees by making a second account. And then some people have had success with an everything store and a niche store. I personally recommend doing everything together, but I also see the benefits of having separate stores, and I've never done a separate store myself, so I can't give exact advice, but I think either way would be a good option. Actually have a ton of basketball cards in my shop now, and I've thought about doing a completely separate shop, but I don't. I'm just keeping them together. But I think both are great options. Hi, Jake. What is the average daily listing goal for making a full-time reselling in the clothing category, in your opinion, assuming full-time resellers aim to make $5K per month after fees and cost of goods? Let's see. I think that $20 profit is attainable. Okay. So if we take $5,000 and we divide that by 30, you need to make $166 a day divided by 20. You need to sell 8 articles of clothing a day at a $20 profit to make $5,000 a month. Now let's just take 5,000 divided by 28. So because you get 4 weekly checks with eBay, that's how most people do it. You get paid every Tuesday. Divide that by 20. You need to sell 9 per day. So if you can just get 10 fast selling $20 profit articles of clothing, then you can do that. If you cut that in half and you're only making $10 profit per article of clothing, then you need to sell about 18 to 20 per day. But it's actually it's a challenge, but it's a bit easier to find $20 profit clothing than you'd think. It just takes more driving and things like that. So like, for example, this, can you guys hear me still? So this Peter Millar featherweight shirt, that's more than a $20 profit. And this Bad Birdie golfing shirt, this is more than a $20 profit. So if you pick up these coupled with, I'd say, so this I found at the bins. So it was like 80 cents. Even with the 80 cents, this is probably going to sell for $15 plus $5 shipping. It might only end up selling for $18 shipped. So I'm not going to get $20 profit for this. But if you list those 2 shirts plus 5 of these plus 5 other $20 items, then you're gonna make it, you know? So in my opinion, if you want to make $5,000 a month selling clothes, I would just look for 10 $20 profit items or 15 $15 profit items or 5 $40 profit items. That Bad Birdie shirt's a $40 item. If you can find 5 of those a day, you're good. I think you could find 5 $40 profit items if you go to 8 thrift stores a day. It's maybe even less. All right, guys, we got a return request on eBay. Someone bought some Kate Spade sunglasses that they are returning. They said they just didn't like them. What did those sell for? Those sold for, if I can find it, Those sold for $25. So I will accept the return. I'll give them their money back and I will sell them again. I ended all my promoted listings. I've had better sales than with it on. Yeah, so that's just like I mean, we are in fourth quarter. In my opinion, you can't make any statistical analysis based on something that you do in one day. I needed at least 6 months of consistent daily experiment and research to consider something valuable, in my opinion. So there's anecdotal experiences and jargon like that. So yeah, if that's really working for you, then you can go ahead and do it. But yeah, it's just something. It's definitely open for discussion. But I think that you should just do what's working for you, and if you truly believe that that's working for you, then you can do it. But I would expect to have slow days and fast days, and I would never. I personally would never make business decisions based on one day or even 1 month of data. Mrs. Flippin' ain't easy. Hey, J Ride and friends. Hand pink waving. That's funny that it typed it out like that. How you doing? How you doing, Jenna? Thanks for being here. So City Flips, what's up, dude? Let's see. Newbie eBay seller here. Awesome. Only using calculated shipping right now. That is the way to do it. If I did flat rate or free shipping and the item sells to someone in, say, Hawaii or Puerto Rico, wouldn't the shipping cost kill me? Yeah. So I list a lot of golf clubs and baseball bats, and I just pray that they don't go to Hawaii. And if they do go to Hawaii, that's okay. I'm only going to lose like another $6, $7, $8 worth of my profit. And golf clubs and baseball bats are high profitable items. But yeah, if they end up going to Hawaii, you will lose a little bit of money on your flat rate shipping. And I use flat rate shipping for all of my longer sporting equipment items like that. So yeah, something to be aware of. Can you do a quick rundown on a flat rate per ounce, please? Everything that is under 8 ounces for me. So like my remote controls, my eyeglasses, a ton of those things. I charge $4.87. Anything between 8 and 12 ounces, which are usually my polos and my t-shirts, I ship out for $5.87. And then anything above 16 ounces that can fit in a flat rate envelope, I ship in that. And then everything else I do calculated shipping, except for long items. I just do a flat rate of $9.95 for things under 25 inches or 24 inches. I can't remember. And then anything above that, I do $12.95 flat rate shipping for the golf clubs and things like that. I've sold off sample metal beer signs before. Yeah, dude, there's a market for just about everything. And there's better brands that sell and slower brands that sell. Hey, I'm up to 250 listings and selling on average 5 to 10 items per day. That's an awesome place to be at. They are solid sales with good profit of between 15 to 20 bucks each. Awesome. Super happy on how it's going, aiming for 1,000 listings. That's awesome, Star Girl. Yep. And like we've talked about, 1,000, it's a good goal to have in mind, but the more important goal is cash flow and profit and making a certain amount of money per day. So if it's possible that you start picking up slower sell-through rate items and then you get to 500 items and you're still only selling 8 to 10 per day, 8 to 12, now you're kind of at an issue. So you just gotta be cognizant of what you're putting into your store and making sure that you're sticking to those fast sell-through rate items, unless you have a business model where you would like to have thousands and thousands of items at a lower sell-through rate. That is a business model that some people have, but those are usually the people that struggle, especially during downturn economies. And yeah, not my business model for sure. When do you list as an auction and buy it now? I only do buy it now. I never do auctions. Sorry, I guess I'm going to text my wife. So yeah, I never do auctions. Haven't done an auction in over a year and a half. I only do buy it now. I just look at the data of the sales history and then I price my items accordingly. I'm starting to have some success with Amazon hats and Starbucks. Have you sold employee hats? I sell employee polos all the time. I have a McDonald's, Starbucks, AT&T, or um, yeah, all those brands. I sell one of those shirts almost every single week. So yeah, employee shirts and hats and stuff sell well. For designer clothing, but UPS, so Amazon shirts, eBay is taking those down. So I was selling a ton of Amazon shirts, but now I don't because people are putting on Amazon shirts and then stealing things from Amazon or from people's porches. So Amazon has clearly reached out to eBay and said, hey, don't let people sell employee clothing because there's a lot of fraudulent things going on. So my last Amazon polo that I put up like 2 months ago immediately got taken down. They said, don't list something like this again. So I said, okay. For designer clothing, how do you verify authenticity? I don't really deal with those a lot. I found some Jordans at Goodwill and I passed on them because I did not know how to check if they were real or fake. Yeah, you just have like sometimes you can just tell. Like that's it. You know, you can watch YouTube videos and stuff and try to expand your knowledge on those things like that. But honestly, for the average reseller, you should just stay away from designer stuff. But if you want to get into it, yeah, just learn. You just got to learn the tactics, and then there's apps that you can take pictures of, and they can tell you there's an 80% chance these are real. There's a 100% chance these are real. Things like that. But can you explain how eBay hides listings? No, I don't. eBay hides listings. I don't understand the question. Shane, do you really work? No, he doesn't. Do you list clothing items with flaws? Yes. Sometimes I get them home from sales and spot a stain or hole I didn't see. Yep. I just I take all the pictures and then I include one picture like this where I'm pointing to the stain or flaw. Which is better, buy it now or auction? Buy it now. On auction, you're going to get historically 70% of the value that you would have gotten on buy it now. So if something normally sells for $100 and you put it on auction, it goes for $70. People use auctions to facilitate a deal. If there's no sold history and you have a really, 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 really rare item and you put it up for auction and only one person is looking for it, you're going to sell it for $20. So when it comes, and you're probably asking that question about a really rare item, so list it high and then just mark it down accordingly if it doesn't sell. What percentage of take home per month do you recommend using for sourcing? I started with personal funds, but I want to move away from that. That's just like an answer I can't answer because I don't know your business. I don't know your medical and credit card debt. I don't know how much your bills are. I don't know what your goals are. But typically people just, I can't answer that question over live. I really can't, but you got to do what's best for you and your company and your family is the best answer I can give, unfortunately. Increase your knowledge on brands and what specific models of clothing sell well. Check available listings versus solds. I struggle hard in the beginning and would come home so discouraged. Keep at it. Yep, exactly. And I don't know why it's so frowned upon to look up items in the thrift store or at yard sales. Like for some reason, people are super, like, I get why some people would feel a little insecure about that. That's not what I'm saying. But like some people are like, oh my gosh, these people are so dumb. They don't know what items go for and they have to look them up in the store. I've been doing eBay for 8 years and I'm so like, come on, dude. Look things up in the store. Things fluctuate hard in every economy and every season is different and every day is different. And they're, so just look things up in the store. Even if, so like Duluth Trading Company, the first 2 shirts that I ever bought from a thrift store from them sold really well because they were like a special Duluth Trading Co. shirt. So I'm like, sweet, all Duluth Trading Co. shirts sell well. No, that's not the case. Look up every single shirt you find, and you'll come home with less losers and more winners. Any tips for media seller? I mostly sell books that are slow movers but great ROI. Be comfortable with making $20 one day and $900 the next day. That's that's what you're signing up for essentially with super, super slow sell-through rate. You're going to have awesome days and you're just going to have absolutely terrible days. And just be cognizant that you are signing up for that. I would recommend going, if you're going all in on media, that's cool. But I would also recommend picking up things that just have an extremely fast sell-through rate outside of your niche to compensate for those $27 days or $87 days. I know Taylor Exchange, he exclusively did clothing and he was building a big clothing brand, but then he noticed that some numbers weren't matching up exactly how he thought they would. And then he started picking up cameras and camera lenses and stuff, and it helped supplement his business. I would recommend that for a lot of media sellers, especially because it's kind of morbid, but the majority of people buying vinyls and cassettes die. Like they're an older generation. So that your target customer unfortunately is dying every single day, and you have less and less and less and less people buying CDs, vinyls, even books, man. Like less and less people are buying books, and the older you are, the more likely you are to buy a book. And studies show the younger you are, the less likely you're going to buy a book. College kids aren't even buying textbooks anymore. They just download the e-file because it's cheaper, and they hate having books when you can have 85 pounds worth of books right here. I have a lot of women's clothing, my own in particular, but also others I won't need to buy anything for a long time, but I need to get rid of this stuff. And I have listed some on eBay and it's slow. I'm right there with you. And I did a whatnot auction and I sold a ton of them really quickly. So that's an option for you as well. Also cross-listing to Poshmark. Clothing, like, I don't know, no shade at certain YouTubers and resellers and stuff, but like some people really push clothing. And the two demographics of people that I hear complain the most in the reselling community are niche clothing sellers or niche media sellers. Like those two are unfortunately just like, man, my sales are slow. It's like, yeah. Yeah. Different topic for a different day. Let's see. Should I set my eBay payouts to a debit card, or is just standard checking account fine? I've seen notice from eBay mentioning faster payouts to debit cards. Yeah, whatever you want to do. I just have eBay pay me every Tuesday, and yeah, it just comes in when it comes in. If you want your money quicker, you can do that. If you need, so what I recommend is getting to a point in your business where cash flow is so great that you don't even notice. Like, I really hope this doesn't come across as arrogant or condescending, but I don't even notice money coming in on Tuesday. Like, I'm at a point in my business where the cash flow is awesome, the profit is awesome. I don't need the money coming into my account on Tuesday to buy my product or to pay my bills, because we're at a really awesome financial position. And that ultimately is where you guys want to get to, is get to a point where it doesn't really matter when you get paid. It just matters that you actually get paid. So yeah, I mean, if you want your money 9 hours earlier, you can put in a debit card, or you can just continue to keep having it go to your checking account. I just have it go to my checking account every Tuesday. Well, it says Tuesday, but my bank usually clears the check on Wednesday morning. If it is an incredible sell-through rate, I would list on eBay or the platform that has the highest sell, and then you don't have to worry about it selling on two platforms. Yep, that's really good advice too. Awesome advice. Wow, you guys are really active in the chat. Thank you so much. We have a ton of questions, and I really appreciate it. Been using Vendoo and auto delist, works great. Can detect sales on eBay and Posh. Multiple quantity still gets a bit weird, and you can't delist on Posh if there's an active offer. There are workarounds though. Yeah. So, man, there's so many questions that I just barely got to this. This is awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah. So we were talking earlier about Vendoo's automatic delist. Yeah, so it sounds like it actually is working well. But unfortunately, if there's an active offer on a Poshmark item, you can't delist it. And that has happened to me a couple times. Unfortunately, they didn't accept the offer, and then I was able to delist it like 6 hours later. But it can definitely get dicey. Yep, add a change to the podcast. Shipping heavy stuff. Often the shipping is more than the item. I'm in California. Shipping east can be so expensive. Customers get frustrated. I like selling those big items like receivers, subwoofers. I do too. I have sold I actually sold some vintage Scott speakers for $89 plus $332 in shipping to China. They bought $90 speakers and paid $320 in shipping. Can you believe that? So yeah, people are willing to pay what they're willing to pay for the item. Sometimes, like, so that's why I do calculated shipping too, because there's this portion where it like, let's say it's like eBay charges the customer $80, but then USPS only charges you $38. So there's $42 to work with. If people are really far away from me and they're complaining about shipping, then I'll say, yeah, go ahead. I'll offer you $30 off. And then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds reasonable. Awesome. So that's another reason why calculated shipping is awesome, because you have that leeway to really make a deal and still have amazing profits. They charge an extra $5 a month to do it. I think that lists perfectly. I know it's more money, but it does a lot of things that Vendoo does not. I've heard the opposite. I've heard that Vendoo has more features and that List Perfectly is actually lagging behind. I need to do some research on these. I just use Flip because it's free. Oh man, I'm cheap. Let's see. I'm excited, bro. Facts. How often should I list the same product? Like 5, 10, 15, or 50 times? And in which time frame? Thanks for your help. So I think you're asking like if you have a free like Alibaba item. What I would do is I would list one single quantity. If you have hundreds, I would list one single quantity and put quantity 100. And then I would make a separate listing where it comes in a pack of 3, quantity 100. And I'd make one that has quantity 5 and quantity 10. Sorry, comes with 5, comes with 10, quantity 100 on all of them. And then I would just keep tweaking those over time and doing that. That's how I would sell those items. Does having too many negative feedback affect sales? Yes, but not nearly like other people think it does. Like everyone thinks you have to have 100% positive feedback on eBay to be successful. I have 99% positive feedback. I think I have like 13 negative feedbacks on my account, and I sell like 22 items every single day on average. So yeah, I deal a lot in electronics, and a lot of people, especially like for AirPods and stuff, people want to buy it and then like scam you. So like someone will buy an AirPod from me for $50. And then when it gets to them, they'll say, hey, this doesn't work, or this is the wrong generation. And I'm just too knowledgeable about it to know that they're lying. So I say, oh, sorry about that. No worries. Send it back and I'll give you a full refund. And then they say, no, give me a full refund now. I'm not sending this back. That's a waste of time. I say, hey, I'm really sorry you're experiencing this issue. If you would like to send back the item, we will give you a full refund. And then instead of sending it back, they just leave me negative feedback and say that the product doesn't work. That happens on a lot of electronics for me. It's fine. It's just part of the game. It just happens. So no, you don't need 100% positive feedback or 99.9% positive feedback to be successful on eBay. Yeah, just I don't. Yeah, negative feedback is just part of business. It's all good. Hello, I want to really thank you because you really motivated me to sell on eBay. I use your videos as a podcast. Hey, I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I love hearing stuff like that. Hey, buddy, what's the most important thing I need to do and change if my selling costs are 52% of my sales? Holy cow. You need to learn shipping. Absolutely, you need to learn shipping. My selling costs are about 28%. 14% go to shipping and 14% go, it's like 29%. 15% go to shipping, and then 14% go to fees on average. So yeah, you definitely need to learn shipping. There's a lot of videos out there on YouTube on how to get better at that, but I'm pretty dang sure it is definitely shipping that you're having an issue with. Erie, Pennsylvania. That's awesome. Hustle and grow. If you're still here, I'm sorry. We're way back. You said that at 1:33 and it's already 2 o'clock. Holy cow. I did summer sales in Pittsburgh and made it up to Erie once or twice. And yeah, pretty cool. How dimensions do you put to get low shipping rate for golf clubs with UPS? UPS is significantly cheaper than USPS. So you just put in the dimensions of the actual club. So if a club is 42 inches, then I put 44 inches. And then if it's a driver and it has a big head, then I do like 42 by 8 by 8. If it's just a regular club, then I put, the 44 by 4 by 4 or 5 by 5. But you can't cheat the system. Like whatever the dimensions are, that's what they are. So don't change the dimensions. But yeah, and then you just ship them out. UPS, super cheap in comparison to USPS, which is super expensive. Afternoon, fellow flippers. Thanks for being here. Belle Resells. Everyone check out her channel too. She just started it, and she's got some great videos as well. Belle Resells. A buyer claims a package and the items were damaged, but the pictures they sent were very sketchy. What do you do? Do you have free returns? This is why free returns are important, because you have seller protections. You just have to accept the return. That's just how this scenario is going to play out, unfortunately. And you only refund them 50%, and you withhold the original shipping, and then you relist your item and sell it again. But yeah, that's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you have no returns and they put item not as described, and then you have to refund them everything, even if they send you a rock. So that's why I recommend free returns on eBay, because not only does it give you seller protections, but it also lets you be in top rated plus, which gives you 10% off discounts. So even though returns suck and it's a very emotional thing and there's nothing positive about it, free returns is actually, not to be contradicting myself, but it's a very positive thing for your business, especially if you want to scale it. Can you do a video on how to do taxes, please? Yeah, so I'll get sued for that because I'm not an accountant. But I will be doing a video shortly on my Reseller Genie, which is a reseller / accountant who has created a software for us that works very well. So stay tuned for that. Would you please explain the promoted listings more? I don't, without like a specific question of what you want to know, I don't know what you want me to say exactly. I do 2.6% promoted listings across all of my items on eBay. I find that it makes sense for me and my business. I don't have space for much stock in my apartment. Do you know whether, as a practical matter, using Amazon's multi-channel fulfillment can work financially? I don't know a lot about Amazon. I only did private label products on Amazon. I sold blue light blocking glasses. And you guys remember those maps of like the United States that had like this matte film across them, and then you can cross it out with a quarter to all the states you've been? Once upon a time, I sold like $50,000 worth of those back when, back in like 2017. And the profit margins were awesome on that. Drop shipping was awesome. And then Trump imposed those Chinese tariffs, and it destroyed my profit margin for a while. So then I stopped doing that. But then those tariffs were lifted again, and then drop shipping was dope again. But I just didn't get back into it. But yeah, I don't do a lot on Amazon. So I honestly don't even know multi-channel fulfillment. Yeah, I can't really speak to any experience or knowledge on that. Sorry about that, Tim. I know you don't agree with this, but I was listing 10 a day and then I stopped for 3 days and my phone just started blowing up with sales. Nice, man. Nice. Let's see. Thanks for the good advice. You're welcome. Which tools do you recommend to sell more on eBay? Which tools do you recommend to sell more on eBay? I don't understand the question. Like which power tools do I recommend to sell on eBay? The ones with a fast sell-through rate. That's my answer to everything. If you ask me what cameras do you recommend to sell, what clothing do you recommend to sell, what do you recommend to sell on eBay, I say everything that has a fast sell-through rate. So that's my answer for that as well. What tools do you recommend? The tools that have a fast sell-through rate. Great channel. Looks like you guys are having some conversations. Struggling with returns, selling well, but sitting at 9% returns. That's pretty high. Most items being returned as functioning as described before shipping and after receiving the item back. How do you handle this? So it sounds like you're selling electronics. So 9% returns for electronics aren't astronomically high, but they are high. When I first started selling on eBay, I was actually telling Carrie American Arbitrage this at the Las Vegas Bins the other day. My return rate was actually up to like 0.2% at one time, which sucks. That sucks. But you just learn over time how to test things better, how to package them better, and how to deal with these returns better. And now my return rate is like 4.1%. So it's almost been cut in half. And with electronics, I'm dang proud of 4.1%. Like that's almost kind of unheard of. Not to brag at all. I hate saying that, but I'm proud of the work that I've done. Okay. So yeah, if you sell electronics, you're just going to have more returns, but 9% is high. Just keep, and they're demoralizing too, especially if like I remember in the beginning, I sold a KitchenAid mixer for $300 plus $120 shipping, and I felt so awesome. Like, man, $420, this is dope. And then it arrived damaged. Oh, dude, that's just so disheartening. But yeah, you just gotta keep pushing forward and keep learning more and more and more about the items in eBay, and it'll eventually come down, just like mine did. Keep watching YouTube videos. Keep putting in work every single day, and it'll start to trickle down. Hey, thank you so much. You've been a great help for me. It is because of you I started selling. I'm doing it part-time and I'm looking forward to do it full-time. That's awesome, man. Keep it up. If you were a niche seller only during Q4 and wanted to ramp up for the holiday, do you think I should list as many as possible, say 10 days leading up to Thanksgiving? What are your thoughts? So this is where conspiracies and anecdote come into play. I do believe that, okay, so I look at eBay as a credit issuer, okay? So if you get a credit card, you're going to start out with $700 or $400 or whatever the limit is. And then if you pay your credit card each month, then they're going to say, okay, this is a person that can handle more credit. So now we're going to give them a $1,500 balance. Then if you keep doing the right things, then they're going to give you more and more and more, okay? Also, businesses do the same when it comes to giving out loans to businesses. Be like, hey, you want a $50,000 loan? Okay, show us sales. You want a $500,000 loan? Show us a marketing team and a ton of sales. Also, eBay also doesn't want you to grow too fast and be able to ship out 10 things. And then once you have 20, your systems aren't in place to do that. So now your items are getting shipped out slower and things like that. Also, they want to protect from theft, which is running rampant in our country right now. So if you start listing too much, your account can get flagged of like, hey, they may have stolen some goods. And then also, when it boils down to it, there's a lot of people here on YouTube and in Reddit believe that there is what's called a governor within the eBay system, that they won't allow you to make more than a certain percentage of sales increases. Some people say it's like a 50% year over year. Some people say it's at 100% year over year. Some people say it's like 20% month over month. That if you have too many sales, eBay governs that and makes it so you can't get as many. I don't really believe that, but it does make sense. So just with that in mind, my true opinion for this lengthy answer is I would continue to just keep listing the same amount, and then if you increase your listings by 5, I would only do that if you can keep doing that all throughout next year as well. So I recommend if you're doing 10 per day and you want to go to 20, I wouldn't do that unless on February 16th you're doing 20 or March 23rd you're also doing 20. If that makes sense. Afternoon, Jake. What's up, Andy Someta? How's everybody doing? What's up, Jake? Hey, how's it going? I've tried promoting a few of my listings and it didn't increase my views, let alone sales. Well, the personal anecdote can sometimes outweigh the data in our minds, but the data on eBay says that if you promote your listings, you get more sales. So you may have had a personal experience where it didn't, but the data doesn't agree with your statement. Just hit 500 items in my store and sold 400 since April. Nice. Thanks to your vids, definitely help. I have so many remotes and baseball bats and gloves now. Love it. That's what I'm talking about, man. I use an app called Check. It's paid service. Yeah, that's for the what's it called? To check to things if things are authentic or not. Wow, guys, we have a ton of questions. This is awesome. Hi, JRed. I went to open a store on my other eBay account and see that the 1,000 listings is $60 now. I pay $21.95 a month for 1,000 on my current store. Do you know about these prices? No, I don't know. I don't know about their current promotions or sales or monthly things or anything like that. So I would do a quick Google search on what's going on there. It takes me forever to thrift because I look everything up. I'd rather have an idea of what something sells for than buying blind. Yep. I find a good happy medium of that going through. I know that like camera sales aren't going to change overnight. So if I see a Canon camera, I'm just going to buy it without looking it up, depending on the model. And I have a ton of the models memorized because I do a lot of sales in that. But I also am going to look up a ton of things and just find somewhere in the medium where you're moving quick and looking up the majority of things. How to get more views on eBay? Any keywords? That's what my whole channel is dedicated to, is how to get more views and more sales on eBay. That is, I can't answer that question in under 17 hours. So it's a combination of finding the best items possible, having the best titles possible, having the best return policies and shipping policies possible, having the best item specifics possible. Just doing everything as best as possible gets you more views and more sales on eBay. Do you recommend the option that people can ask for a lower price? Absolutely. Yep. So I let people offer. I let people do offers, and I think 48% of my sales come from offers. So if I turned off offers, then my revenue would go down by half. Well, people would still actually probably buy from me without sending an offer, probably at like a 20% clip. So my sales would decrease by like 35 to 40%. So yeah, turn on those offers. What do you think about used car parts? I love them. I sell them all the time. How do I learn the tricks of shipping? I used to sell, but shipping got stupid. Everything has changed. YouTube. Every single question that you can think of on this planet is answered on YouTube in full detail if you click on enough videos. So yeah, just keep watching YouTube videos. I have a few. There's a ton of YouTubers that have just type in how to ship on eBay or on Poshmark or whatever platform you use. I do disagree with you about the LPS records and CDs, but I do suggest reselling other categories like cameras, perfumes, toys, and jewelry. Yeah, interested on what you disagree with me on. Because yeah, there's a ton of LPs and CDs that. So like, let's type in the Beatles CD. The Beatles CD. There's 21,000 listed. And there are 7,000 sold. So that means that it's going to take 90 times 3. If you are priced correctly, then you're going to sell your item in 270 days. So you're going to sell your item once a pregnancy. I would rather sell my items like every 60 days or so, but it's just a different business model. And that's like one of the most popular bands of all time. If we do like Jeremy Zucker CD. Jeremy Zucker CD, there are 27 listed and there are 4 sold. So that's going to take about 5 years to sell. Yeah, having some conversations. Yeah, I can do a video on shipping eyeglasses. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you guys are having conversations with each other or talking to me. I just shipped a 40-pound Sobe mini fridge shaped like a can. I like $90 shipping FedEx. Yeah, that's Cali. That's dope. Is there an app to help me keep track of sales, expenses, products, etc.? Thanks, Jake. Well, yeah, there is. My Reseller Genie. Yeah, I just barely did a sponsorship deal with My Reseller Genie, and I'll be making a video on that soon. If you want to check out My Reseller Genie, or if you want to wait like 3 or 4 days, I'll be putting out a video. What is JRED's store called? It's 21JRIDE, 21JRED. Yep, Anthony just put it in. What percent of either selling price or profit price would you track on per item to cover the cost of potential return costs? So I don't do per item. I don't do like, if this is $9, I need to get it for $3 or whatever. My average cost of goods is just under $5. And my average sales price is just over 40. And again, it just depends on how you want to run your business and what you want your profit margins to look like. But just understand that typically your return rate is going to be less than 5%, and it's probably going to be less than 3. And you're going to be able to resell the majority of the items that get returned. So it's really not a huge expense. It's just a really huge emotional, terrible thing for people that people get hung up on, which I understand. What do you think about a sport-themed eBay shop with sports clothes, accessories with a profit margin of 250%? Should I do it? Yeah, I mean, any business with a 250% profit margin is awesome. Okay, guys, this just in. eBay is down 5%. They just barely released their quarterly earnings. Take a look at that graph, ladies and gentlemen. That's in the last like 6 minutes. Okay, guys, I love you. I'm going to cut this short. I forgot that I thought this information was coming out an hour later. So I'm going to hop off and take a look at all of this information. I'm actually excited. I'm probably going to buy a couple $1,000s worth of eBay stock today. I'm pretty excited. That's not a financial advice. Don't listen to me. I'm done. Okay. Sweet. Not financial advice. Cool, whatever. Buy eBay stock. Don't what? Who said that? Who said that? What? Okay. Sweet. All right, guys. I am going to do a deep dive. I'm as many of you know, I'm invested in eBay. So I'm going to go hop on their earnings call right now and see what they're saying. Appreciate you guys so much. I will see you on the next live, and be ready for some more content. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much. I'm really sorry to do this to you. Thanks.